Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un's visit to Beijing for China's massive Victory Day military parade has become a defining moment in global geopolitics, highlighting Beijing's growing influence over authoritarian regimes and signaling a challenge to the Western-led international order. The parade, organized by Chinese President Xi Jinping, marks the 80th anniversary of Japan's surrender in World War II and is being described as China's largest ever military display, showcasing advanced hypersonic weapons, long-range missiles, and other cutting-edge defense systems. By inviting and hosting Putin and Kim side by side, Xi is making a powerful statement that China, Russia, and North Korea are drawing closer together, forming what analysts call an axis of upheaval. This new alignment directly counters the dominance of the United States and its allies, creating the possibility of a multipolar world where authoritarian powers coordinate militarily, politically, and economically. Putin's presence in Beijing comes as Russia remains isolated from the West due to its ongoing war in Ukraine and international sanctions. His trip follows the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit in Tianjin, further solidifying Russia's reliance on China as a key strategic partner. Kim Jong-un's visit is even more significant, as it marks his first multilateral appearance since assuming power in North Korea. Traveling in his heavily fortified armored train, Kim arrived in Beijing with high symbolic value, demonstrating his readiness to step onto the international stage in partnership with China and Russia. North Korea's growing missile and nuclear capabilities are already alarming to the West, and Kim's participation in a Chinese-led parade signals that Pyongyang is becoming more openly aligned with Beijing's strategic objectives. The presence of all three leaders together highlights a tightening bond among states seeking to challenge the Western-led system of governance and security. In June 2024, Russia and North Korea signed a mutual defense pact, raising the prospect of military cooperation in the event of conflict. Now, with China drawing closer to this partnership, the possibility of coordinated military exercises, technology sharing, and political coordination increases, reshaping security dynamics in the Asia-Pacific. Xi Jinping's rhetoric at the event emphasized opposition to hegemonism and power politics, terms that are clearly directed at the United States and its allies. He stressed the need for a fairer and multipolar world order, positioning China as the natural leader of a new coalition of powers. Meanwhile, the absence of U.S. leadership was striking. President Donald Trump and other Western leaders declined to attend, underscoring a widening rift between Washington and its traditional role in global security. Trump's administration dismissed the parade as theatrical and accused China, Russia, and India of enabling aggression through economic and political cooperation. This reaction reveals a broader isolationist stance that has strained America's long-standing alliances. As the U.S. steps back from international engagement, China fills the vacuum by presenting itself as a champion of an alternative order. The optics of Putin, Kim, and Xi standing together in Beijing while Western leaders remain absent send a clear message that the balance of power is shifting. The implications of this gathering are far-reaching. For China, it demonstrates the success of its strategy to build alliances with states opposed to Western dominance, bolstering its claim to leadership in a multipolar system. For Russia, it provides crucial international legitimacy and a way to bypass sanctions and isolation. For North Korea, it marks a breakthrough in visibility, showing Kim Jong-un as more than a pariah state leader by placing him in the company of major world powers. Collectively, their presence signals a rejection of Western norms and institutions, from NATO to the United Nations frameworks dominated by the US and Europe. Analysts warn that this deepening cooperation could translate into greater instability, as joint military actions, weapons development, and coordinated foreign policy may challenge Western influence in regions from Eastern Europe to the Korean Peninsula. This moment illustrates a turning point in the global order. While the U.S. and its allies debate domestic and regional priorities, China is actively reshaping international politics by aligning with powers that share its vision of resisting Western pressure. The symbolism of the military parade, the display of advanced weaponry, and the unified presence of three leaders under one banner highlight not just historical remembrance but the emergence of a strategic bloc. The parade, far more than a ceremonial event, has become a declaration of intent by China, Russia, and North Korea to challenge and potentially redefine the existing international system.